This was me, ABC poker, getting shoved around. Weak, boring, predictable. Then I stopped waiting for cards, and I started fighting. It was dangerous and profitable. Now this is your saga. I learned to fight. Now I'll teach you. Ben Riggs. Let's get to work. Here I have ace-2 in the big blind. Villain 1 limps. Small blind folds. I have the option to raise. I just check. Flop a gut shot and an overcard. Villain is extremely wide. And villain folds a lot. Villain's playing 49/4, so loose passive. Fold to flop c-bet, 71%. I'm going to use my equity to stab at the pot. I call this move the greedy beaver. The greedy beaver is always looking for a pot that he could stab at and take. When it comes to the math, villain's wide and I have equity, so I bet. Villain calls. The 9 of clubs completes the flush. Now if this was an ABC tag, flat calling pre-flop, I would guess that this flop is all over their range. But considering that we're dealing with a fish, who knows what he has? You don't have to be brilliant at poker to see that a flush completed. So that's exactly what I'm going to represent. I bet the pot, villain folds. It's a small pot, but this is a repeatable spot that you can do over and over again. Great for your red line. It's the greedy beaver. Another point I want to make in this hand is that this villain's fold to flop c-bet is 71%. In other words, this villain's MO, his very basic strategy and style, is to see a flop and try to hit it. And if he doesn't hit it, he folds. So knowing that the villain's wide makes it unlikely that the villain hit a flush. Since the villain likes to fold, we're playing the player. This villain folds a lot. That's what he does. So we're going to bet and let him do what he does. Let him fold. That's not only the greedy beaver, that's the ancient dragon. Play the player. Take that pot. Queen jack offsuit on the button. We get 2 callers, we flop top pair. Villain 1 is that same casual player from the previous hand. Villain 4 also seems to be a casual player with a short stack. Given the stack sizes and our top pair good kicker, I'm going to treat this like the nuts. So I'm going all the way. Since the board has draws, I can't get the money in the pot fast enough. I think I'll get called by draws no matter what I bet. So I bet the pot. Villain 4 calls. The turn pairs the board. Will villain 4 sometimes have an 8 in their hand? Sure they will. How often? Not often enough for me to care about. So I bet 2/3 the pot. Villain calls. With a 10 on the river, unless the villain's calling off his entire stack with a gut shot, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Villain checks. I bet. Villain folds. Villain only has 15 big blinds left in his stack. I feel like that's a missed flush draw, especially 3-way. That just reinforces my large c-bet sizing theory at the beginning of the hand. Good thing I got that many chips before he whiffed and folded. And the red line goes up. Ace-9 in the cutoff. Villain 4, the same villain from the previous hand, with his tiny remaining stack, min 3 bets. I see this as tilt. And with ace-9 suited, and this stack size, there's no way I'm folding. So I shove. The reason I shove and not just call and then not fold later is because I don't want the villain to flop poorly and then give up. I want all the chips in now. This is obviously not some 50 NL study GTO pre-flop wizard core lord. Villain calls. I don't really care how the hand plays out, except for that our read was correct. Villain has garbage, but thanks for playing. Players like this is the reason that solver software needs a WTF mode. His play is like the fog. There's some sort of direction, but good luck seeing it. 6-3 offsuit in the big blind. Going 4-way. I don't see any reason to stab our gut shot here 4-way. Interesting hand though, when villain 1 shoves, villain 2 calls. Chaos. Not the fun kind. More like the DMV line on a Tuesday kind. 8-9 in the big blind. Here's villain 1 limping. Like a boss, I check. Villain 1 likes to do what? He likes to fold. He likes to fold on the flop. 73%. Pretty scary board, right? The king, flush. Should we stab here? Do you stab? Darn right we stab. Villain does what he do. It's like a toddler drew a strategy chart with ketchup. 8-6 on the button. We get 3-bet and a caller. So I fold. No sense calling here. If you want to dive really deep into pre-flop strategy, check out my member section on my website, redlinewarrioracademy.com. Play the stone elephant. Queen Jack in the big blind. Villain 10 limps. Villain 3 comes along. Interestingly, I check. Maybe I should have raised here. Looks like I might have made a mistake. Back to sweeping mats in the dojo for me, for leaving value on the table. Past the ketchup. I flop second pair. I bet for value. Villains fold. Told you I missed value. Queen 5 in the big blind. What appears to be a tag on the button raises. We flat call. We miss a flop terribly. Pretty dry flop. I just fold. You came here to see me fight for pots, so why did I just fold? I think you already have an idea. It's my lack of equity in my position. Rockets on the button. We raise, we steal the blind. Marvelous. Jack 10 suited in mid position. Takes the blinds. Ace Queen suited in the small blind. A somewhat tight villain, villain 5, open raises. Playing 15-15. We 3-bet. Villain folds. No fun. Pocket 6s on the button. Same tag, raises. We 3-bet. Probably not optimal here to 3-bet with 6-6 on the button. I might flat call. Villain 8's 3-betting a little bit, but pretty passive. Villain 9 hasn't 3-bet yet. I think you could flat call here. Probably the best play, but I really want to mess with Villain 5. Here's my chance to mess with him a second time. It's unlikely that I'll get his stack if I hit a set, if I flat call anyway. Is this a profitable move? Maybe not. But if I run into a really strong hand and I 3-bet Villain 5 again, then I've executed a successful drunken monkey. In summary, the whole idea is to just mess with Villain 5 a little bit, so when we do get a good hand, we have better odds of getting paid off. Villain 5 shows discipline and folds again. Ace 8 on the button. We get a call from a player that is 57-29 and 80 aggression frequency. So pretty aggressive and wide player, almost maniac. Flop's pretty innocuous. I see bet, villain folds. Ace 3 in the big blind. Early position, min raises. Not a spot I'm crazy about, but we do have some equity in an ace blocker. Considering that villain 10 is playing 70/10, meaning that he's only pre-flop raise 10% of the time, I feel like he has me beat. The pot size bet on the flop is another hint. I can take a hint. Ace 2 in early position. I don't usually raise from early position, but my only wide 3-better is villain 8. Everyone else is playing somewhat passively pre-flop, and Ace 2 is a hand that I could 4-bet bluff with, so I come in for a raise. I steal the blinds. I'm playing on a US facing site that has a special kind of pot where everybody goes in for 5 big blinds and you see a flop. I'm lucky and I flop top 2. Villain 11 playing 15-0 makes it a pot size bet. The only likely and plausible hand that beats me here is a set of 3s. And it is possible and in this villain's range, especially 4-way. But given all the other combinations and the stack to pot ratio, I think I'm okay with stacking off here. But I don't want to wait. I want the money in now. So does the villain. Given the stack to pot ratio, villain's play isn't too bad. But in general, I don't like it. This is a 291 big blind pot. What does he think I'm going to go all in with? Queen Jack? Ace 9? I don't know. Maybe it's alright. It's nice to take this big pot, but really this is just a novelty hand, just noise. 5-5 from the cutoff. I get 3-bet by a pretty active tag. What do? You know what I do, right? I fold. In my opinion, flat calling here is one of the biggest redline leaks there is. On my website is a 100% free video, the 3 biggest redline leaks and how to fix them. Go check it out. Stop calling here. This isn't 2010. King Jack and small blind. A tag raises from the cutoff playing 1915. A very active player on the button just folds. I 3-bet and take the pot. Thanks for watching. Come train with me. Subscribe. We're not going to feed you to the sharks. We're going to make you a shark. I'll see you in the dojo.